like how to show this. Do you have different colored markers?
No.
I'm doing what we did today in Pato.
And then we did where else it said like the colors. And
There was a
it'd be
gorilla.
yeah, it would be like blue, and then the word would be blue, and then switch it, and it'd be like blue, but the word would be like yellow.
I'm gonna show y'all.
That's the stupid thing. I think that would be this.
Y'all turn your cameras off. I hope they're not making fun of me.
Why would they be making fun of you?
Because I can't hear them.
I'm not making fun
How you gonna write black and green?
What?
It's
It's part of the thing. Genius.
Are you not supposed to match the colors up?
of
No. Okay, I'm about to explain it. I need to do my 30-second. Look at Felicity. Hey, guys. It's recording right. So that's going to be on YouTube. Ew, gross. Okay. So, my opinion. Oh, wait. They have to see it, right? Can y'all see that? Cool. Can y'all get y'all's cameras on so I know if y'all got it or not, please? Aw, they're so sweet. They put their cameras on for me. I'm gonna go like this. Can y'all see it? Let me do the thumbs up. That's cute.
It's over there.
Okay, this kind of hurt my arm.
Over there.
Do y'all have the POC? Cool. All right, I'm gonna put this down. And y'all can see it. Okay. So my POC is what perception of the brain was working during the Stroop effects. And so if you want me to tell you, so like for perception, before we begin. Like the types of perceptions, there's two that we've learned so far. The first one is the frontal lobe. And the second one is the insular cortex. Probably just embarrassed myself because I don't know if I said that right or not.
What's this?
Mhm.
Okay. We do this in different colors. The frontal lobe.
Is there a back lobe?
Huh?
Like a back lobe?
I'll tell you the one if you shut up.
Well, I know that's being recorded.
Okay. Okay. And then the insular cortex. I really don't want to write this big word. Hold this thing.
Exactly.
Okay. So there's a Stroop one, and that's with the colors listed with the correct color written. And then Stroop number 2 is the same colors listed again, but instead it's not the same color. So like green is written in blue, and over here green is written in green. So the type of perceptions are frontal lobe, and that resolves conflicts between different sensory inputs, and then enteral cortex resolves discrepancies between what we see and touch, and I underline see and touch because that's basically what you need to know about that. And so I'm trying to figure out what perception I used whenever we did this, what we're about to do. Okay. Can y'all see all that, or do y'all want me to pick it up? Can't hear nothing, can't see nothing.
You good?
Okay, cool. Oh, hi, Lele. Okay, so who wants to read this for me?
What's the what?
Like, okay, so Adri, just read them down.
Black, red, blue, green.
Okay, now read these, but don't say the word, say the color. But try to do it as fast as you just did.
Just say the color of it.
Just say the color of it, but do it a regular speed how you just did.
Okay, green, black, red, blue.
Okay, now you do it.
Black, red, blue, and green.
Now say the color.
Green, black, red, and blue.
See, it's so easy with not a lot of colors. Earlier, we had so many different colors, and it was really confusing. Okay,
One.
and so I didn't understand why it was frontal lobe, like what out of this made sense. Like I get why it's not enteral cortex. So the one I used, the perception I used. What perception?
I have a question.
What?
So are they both like two different perceptions?
No. This whole thing, like the activity we did in class today, we did the activity and then we said what perception of our brain did we use? And it was either out of the frontal lobe or the enteral cortex. And so the perception that we used for the activity was the frontal lobe. And I understood why it wasn't this one, but I didn't understand, like, what is the, I don't even know what that means.
Resolve conflict. Okay, I get it.
The reason it wasn't enteral cortex is because whenever we did this, we were like reading and stuff, so we didn't see or touch anything. That's why it wasn't this one. That's why I know it's the frontal lobe.
Okay, so first of all, you know what a conflict is? It's a problem.
Yeah, I know.
So this side is a problem. And that's why our brain like resolves it. So like if you like look at it for a while, you're like,
So like how we see these two differently?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
side is
that
like
makes
not a
sense.
conflict, it's like all the same. And then this
Okay.
side you like changed it up and your brain just like resolved the conflict.
Chelsea, those
Sensory.
Perceptions. Look, those were their perceptions. The frontal lobe and the whatever lobe.
I thought those were part
Write
of
that
it.
down, or write the other, how many other perceptions are there?
There was only two.
yeah, we only
Are
did
those
We had the
only
five-
two
we
that
have-
you got written on the board?
We had the yeah.
we did the 5 senses.
We did
and
the
then
5
what brain
senses.
they used, and then those are the only two. And then those two that you put
We just-
are the only two we talked about in class.
So like in class today, we talked about like what like our senses were and like why it's important to sense the environment. And then we did the 5 senses, which is like vision, touch, hearing, smell, taste. But we said what lobe they use. And then we described the difference between sensation and perception. And then the perceptions were frontal lobe and anterior cortex. So like whenever we did this activity, she asked what part like of the perception that we used. And it was
Wait.
she told us it was out of these two, which were the
Do you want
perceptions.
to know why it's frontal?
I know why now. But I didn't understand the meaning of it. I understood why it wasn't this one because that's see and touch, and we didn't do none of that in the activity. But the meaning didn't make sense to me. So that's why I was confused. So if I would have never knew what these meant, I wouldn't have picked that one. If that makes sense.
Okay, question. So, in these notes, aren't the arrows like different perceptions of the brain?
It's the different parts. But
Yeah,
she only had
but
five
she didn't
senses.
do, she only did 5 senses.
Yeah, the other ones weren't necessary.
And they
So
weren't
this
needed.
is just labeling?
And it's just showing you where it's at in the brain.
Gotcha.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
After you write your notes and after everyone else writes the notes, don't forget to do a 15-second speech.
Okay.
Read your POC and then read your steps.
This is true.
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
No, but I know it's some color things.
I thought them things was chocolate.
Yeah, that's what you mean.
Be shaking. You see how bad I'm shaking today? Okay, does everyone have it now? Of course. You're good. Okay. Okay, my 15-second speech. I just go over my steps, right?
Read your POC.
Okay, my POC was what perception of the brain was working during the Stroop effects. I listed the Stroop effects, and then I defined the frontal lobe and the enteral cortex, which were the perceptions that we learned today in class. The frontal lobe was about like conflicts between like your sensory inputs, and then the enteral cortex was about seeing and touching. I was confused because I didn't understand what the conflicts between different sensory inputs mean. But whenever we went over it, I realized that that's why frontal lobe was the perception that was used. So my aha was frontal lobe meaning, and that's basically it.
All right, very good. Adriana, let's get it. Adriana Urbina is next.
I'm trying to let
Leah think she ain't gonna do nothing. I'm sorry.
I always do.
Y'all got this?
Everybody do it.
Hey. Hey, good snack. Here you go.
I'm giving just a second.
There's nothing funny. It's dead.
Wait, why'd you square this?
Excuse me?
Why'd you put a square in there?
That was just for me. Don't worry about it.
Oh, do you need mine?
Oh, exactly. It's hurting.
Okay. Let me get my computer real quick. I need some more notes. This is Paso? Yep.
This is yesterday?
Yep. I need to take some more space, Harley. Sorry. It's okay. Okay, let's get it going. Hold up, guys. 1 second. One second.
Neurological.
Here we go. Okay, yeah. Make sure I got this PLC. Let me read it for y'all. What is the best technique to identify a neurological disorder in a child? Tell me when y'all are done. I'm guessing y'all got it. Okay. Let me move on to my notes. Okay, I know. No, not right now. Tell them that. Okay. Oh wait, let me write this down. I'll show y'all in a minute. So, my POC is, what is the best technique to identify a neurological disorder in a child? And a neurological disorder is a disorder that affects the brain as well as the nerves found throughout the body, throughout the human body and spinal cord. But I didn't write that. What I know is that you can live without part of your brain. Oh yeah, you can live with part of your brain missing. Different parts of your brain affect different behaviors, and these right here are the techniques that you can use. Do I have any questions? No questions? Huh?
The PET scans and MRI.
Yes. But I was just confused yesterday because, she was talking about the other boy. And I just didn't understand. The doctor just told him that he had like ADHD.
Did your people get the notes?
Nobody's even on here. Can y'all see?
I got the note.
Did anybody else get the notes?
Hold up.
Y'all need to come to school.
I'm coming back next 6 weeks because sleeping in is not all that.
I don't know.
They both said
It's not cutting it. I'll be bored.
Huh?
I said I'm coming back next 6 weeks. I'm bored.
Are you done?
Nah, girl, you got bushes.
Are y'all done? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just wondering, like, why they couldn't have done one of these to him in the first place. Because they waited till he died to say that he got hit by a car, apparently.
No, she said something being too young.
I know what happened. Yeah, but what he was born with a missing part of his brain. Well, they didn't know what was wrong with him because, like, whenever you would point at something and tell him, "Hey, look at this picture," and tell him exactly what's on the picture, he would look and couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't identify anything. If you told him to look at something, he didn't know what to look at. Like, he just couldn't come up with that stuff because he was born without that part in his brain. Well, they didn't know what to do because they had never seen anything like it. Well, whenever he got hit by a vehicle, it like killed him automatically because apparently that had to do with something too. But they didn't
I don't
know
think that
how
had to do with
No,
that.
it didn't have nothing to do with it. It just killed him on impact. And then his parents signed a thing that said they could have an autopsy, and they found it. But there's pictures in the notes of each of those what it shows when they do the Moschini scan.
Yeah, I just don't know why I didn't do that to him way before.
I think it's because he was too young. Because I know PET scan, that's that thing, they put your whole body up in there.
Oh, that's the MRI.
What is the PET scan? I don't know what this is. I don't know what it was.
This is what it
Well, it
was.
looks like to me, y'all need to get a good understanding of what the PET, the MRI and EE was at G.
See, the PET scan is what they put your whole thing in. I told you.
Like, oh boy.
They put your head in. The MRI is where they put your
Literally,
body.
Yeah, that was him.
And then the EEG is those little deals on your head.
What?
Okay with the CAT scan.
What?
But only one's like a
That's what it
X-ray
was.
of your brain.
Okay.
So
No, I thought like the one where you turn the body in with CAT scan.
PET scan
I
is
know.
just your brain. The MRI is your whole body.
I know what happened. So when he was 14 months old, they took him to the clinic, and Jesse's parents bring him to your clinic because they are worried that he is not developing normally. Yeah, but shouldn't that like be a sign? Like, really normal?
Yeah, but kids, when they have ADHD when they're younger, they have development issues too. So that's why they thought it should.
I don't think,
'Cause
but
like
I
she
don't
said-
think that ADHD is like that serious.
It depends on the person.
Cause my
But like,
cousin had ADHD, he was normal.
but like she said, you don't just get a like a little 14-month-old child and just go, oh, something's wrong with him. Put him in the scanner.
Yeah, so like, and then they, like in our notes, it listed things like that were normal for kids, and but like the things that he didn't do, like he couldn't repeat sounds or gestures for.
As a parent, I would just be like, maybe he's just developing a little slowly. I wouldn't think to put him in no scanner.
If
You
I'm
would think to put your little child in the skin
You want
if
the-
he just wasn't putting
the
your pictures
advantages
right.
of each thing. You got
So if your child was like, so if you told your child to point at a fire hydrant and you couldn't point at it and you think, oh, we need to go take it to the
it?
doctor.
No, but that's not what he had though.
But they didn't know
He
that.
was like old enough to do all that stuff.
You know, some kids develop a little slowly.
Well, he has some.
All right, so which one, you figure out which technique you need to use
I think it would be this. Me too.
It is that.
for a neurological disorder?
There's pictures.
So what is the MRI? What is its job?
Okay.
Can it be EEG though? That's how you put on
The
your head.
MRI.
There's pictures on there where it shows how.
No,
what it shows what it
This
does.
is just for brain waves.
Yeah, that shows your brainwaves, like if you're dead or not.
Oh, I'm not in this class, so.
So if your brain dead,
I
I'm
had
trying to help
the
y'all.
EEG once done to me.
you had that before.
They put them little things in
Did
there.
it hurt?
How was your experience?
Well, they thought I had a sleeping disorder, so I had to go get tested and like sleep in like a hospital kinda. And so they had to like put like wax in the thingies and like stick it on your head. It was just so.
All right,
They
so
put a
is,
rocket on
so is that neurological? Does that have anything to do with your brain?
I mean,
Sleep?
yeah.
EEG.
I mean, so why MRI then? Why do we have to look, why does why does it have to be an MRI for a neurological? I'm just asking
Because
questions.
the MRI, you can actually like
See
see
the brain. There's
You
pictures-
can't see the brain in the PET scan?
No, PET scan shows around, but the MRI shows like inside your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So you
MRI
can
will show
see-
you things that you can't see in an X-ray or stuff like that.
On
Yeah.
there it says
And then
throughout the
the
human body.
EEG
So is
is
it
kinda
talking about
like-
like just the
like how like
brain?
the.
Well,
No,
but
the
this is
brain
nerves.
sends nerves to your body.
Yeah.
That's if you're nervous,
That's
that's
just an
it's neurological.
I think this boy should have got it done earlier. Maybe he would
Yeah, I'm
have.
pretty sure they have like stuff for to test babies and stuff.
Did you kick me out of senior?
Or they need to make something for babies too.
Did you kick me out of senior tutorial?
Mm-hmm.
If you're you need to come back in there. I'm going back virtual.
For real?
Yeah.
Why?
Sorry.
Okay, let's go. So it's the MRI because why?
Okay,
I think it'd be MRI because it shows the structure of the brain, which is neurological.
Yes. There's also a picture that tells you.
So, first step was oh, that how you spell define?
Define. That's how you spell define.
It looks wrong. Define.
Brain waves.
Define neurological disorder. Okay. 2 was discuss the techniques used to address
the best technique.
I already used technique.
It's all right. That's why I boxed it in on your PLC, Jacqueline. Finish that A on AHA. Thank you.
Okay, that
Church and
the in all Where's the child? My arms are tired.